What's going on, guys? I'm Dr. P. Revin has reached his destination. We have more color changes, and we've got teasers from Epic themselves about the storyline. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and leave your theories in the comments or in the Dr. P Discord to possibly get featured in the next video. Starting off with what's going on at Loot Lake. So Revin has officially melted into the lake, and the lake is red. It's pretty much the same thing that we had back in the original Chapter 1 Season 5, except it's red, and it certainly seems like they nerfed how high you can jump. One thing about the red lake that is particularly interesting, at least to me, is that when you jump on it, there is a little ripple effect that happens on the lake, and it appears to be kind of like an orange gold color. Now, this could absolutely mean nothing, but it could also mean something pretty significant. Remember, in the sideways rift that was created by the visitor's rocket, there was a lot of different orange/goldish hues appearing in it, and it was the same with the butterfly. Let's not forget, we're talking about a cubified lake, and with cubes of course being from the last reality, we know what this gold color could possibly symbolize. Now, at the same time that Revin descended into Loot Lake and melted, there were some other color changes taking place with the bunker and the moon. Of course, they have already previously changed colors, but now we've got a very deep, very rich purple emanating out of the bunker and of course on the moon. I believe this is the final time the moon and the bunker are going to change colors, and you can see in the progression how it starts to lose the bits of red and slowly progresses back to all purple. What does this mean? Of course, we've been talking about the cube possibly changing color back to purple over the course of this entire season. Shortly after the Revin melting live event, Fortnite went onto their Instagram stories and posted this photo. It's meant to mimic the Matrix, the red pill, blue pill scene, and in one hand you can see Kevin the Cube, purple, looking sharp as ever. In the other hand, you can see Revin, the red cube, so this is definitely really interesting. Technically, this is the second time Fortnite has posted something insinuating that Revin might turn back to Kevin. Another piece of potential evidence for this happening is that ever since Revin melted into Loot Lake, of course the lake is red and there are runes scattered across the lake, but this is the important part. The runes are actually that of Kevin the Cube's old runes, not Revin's new runes. Is this an oversight? Is this something that they forgot to do or just figured nobody would care except people who are so invested in the lore? That's absolutely possible, I can't lie, but some part of me wants to hold on to that hope that we could be seeing Kevin again. Alright, so back to the moon and bunker lights. At first, we believed Kato Thorn was back on the way. I mean, some of these teasers were downright crazy, but really that's not lining up too much anymore, especially now that the moon is deep purple. Here's an explanation from Restro, who theorizes, although there's not too much to go off of here, I believe the reason why the bunker lights and the moon changed colors simultaneously was to show us that the IO is likely manipulating the moon for some kind of purpose we don't completely understand just yet. The last time the bunker lights were on was during OG Season 4, with the Morse code of the blinking lights translating to "something is wrong." Perhaps the IO are adjusting to the changes post Big Bang and are attempting to counter the changes caused by the Red Rift butterfly. I could definitely see that happening, but one way or the other, this is just so strange. We are about 4 to 5 days away from OG Season 6 and Darkness Rises, and in my opinion, if the cube is going to change color, there's a solid probability that it would change color right at the beginning of the season when the floating island gets formed. That brings up an interesting point from Sans, who says the cube went and placed red runes around the island. It's possible it could turn purple, then get redder as it goes to absorb the runes. Even though the voting boards got removed, we know the visitor is still on the island, trying to prepare for whatever invasion or evil forces are coming our way. So based off that, here's a theory of mine. What if the red runes that have been printed are a defense mechanism by the red butterfly or the last reality, whoever is controlling the cubes, meant to turn the cube back to red in the event something happened to get it back to purple? That might be what the visitor is trying to do, and if he is successful there, ultimately the cube is gonna go back to the old runes and maybe turn back to red. I've heard some theories of the visitor being the one that kind of snuck inside this bunker or underneath Wailing Woods, and maybe now he's controlling the colors, which might be possible. But if the cube does turn back to purple and it has to go back over those red runes, that's something that's going to be super interesting to keep an eye on. Drop your theories in the comment section down below, subscribe, and don't forget to drop drop a like on this thing if you enjoyed and you want to see more. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.